Witty, witchy, and wonderfully romantic. Yeah. I honestly blacked out. Hey, why did I need 4 of these? I'm having a really good time. It's feeling very fall readathon in here. She's big N. Okay, I sat down to start filming the intro to this and then I realized I'm wearing literally the exact same shirt as I was wearing in my last video. So there's also like so many sounds happening in and around my apartment right now. Like, what is this banging that's happening? Dude, are we done with that? What was that? Hi, Onion. You want to say hi to the camera? Okay. So, I'm gonna change in like 2 seconds, but I wanted to sit down and film the intro because I'm about to start my timer for the readathon of it all, so. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mick and we're doing a mini fall readathon this weekend. So, hey, welcome. I'm really excited. I'm calling it a mini fall readathon because last year I did 2 full-on 24-hour readathons. They were both really fun, really productive. I read a bunch of books both times. I could have done a full 24-hour readathon this weekend. Honestly, I still probably could because it's only 2 p.m. and I do have plans tonight, but honestly, they're not that long. I just have a friend coming over, so like I really technically could, but I have a feeling that I'm not gonna be able to execute it to the fullest. So instead, I'm doing a little workaround, and the mini of it all is I'm basically just planning on setting a 12-hour timer on my phone starting as soon as we start, and I'm gonna do my best to get through it this weekend. Honestly, I know realistically there's a chance that I could get through it first thing in the morning because like I said, it's only 2 p.m. and I have a friend coming over this evening, but she's not coming over until like 7 p.m. and she probably will leave at like 10 or 11 and then I could read after she goes home. And then I have plans tomorrow morning, but not for super long. So realistically, if I read for 5 to 7 hours today, well, as I'm saying this, maybe I won't finish it until tomorrow afternoon. Regardless, minimum 12 hours, and then whatever I can do over that is great. I'm gonna try my hardest and we're gonna see what happens. So I'm also gonna be doing this partially with my roommate, Matt. She's gonna be reading with me for part of the time. She also has other plans outside of the plans that we have together. So she's gonna be with me for part of the time, not the whole time, but part of it. So with that being said, I do have 2 stacks of books sitting in front of me, as well as a list of books that I've downloaded on my Kindle. So she's feeling really ambitious apparently today. We'll see. Granted, one of those are romance, 2 of them are like mystery thrillers, and some of them are like really short, so I could fly through them. Not to say that I won't read more than one, but it's just like, it's really funny that I've pulled so many books, knowing what I know about how much time I'm giving myself here. So anyways, let's just go ahead and run through the books so I can start with the reading instead of doing so much talking. Okay, so this is stack number 1. Like I said, I have 2 stacks in front of me. This stack is my specifically October stack in that it is fall coded. These are the books that I'm specifically in the mood for because they are specifically fall and I would love to get them off my fall TBR. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I will be picking from this one first. So first of all, we have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana, which is on my 25 and 2025 list. Will I be starting with this one? I don't know. So, this is a witchy little romance that everyone was reading last year and I never got around to it, so yeah. And we have We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. I would guess Cleaver. This is a mystery thriller horror novel that is also on my 25 and 2025 list. I don't know much about this other than the fact that when I bought this, the bookseller at Barnes & Noble was raving about it. So strong contender to be read in the next 12 to 24 hours as well. Then we have Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutanto. Also very, very high on the list, only because the 2 words that are used the most to describe this book are heartwarming and funny. Mystery thriller, but sweet and heartwarming. Old woman solving a crime. Yeah. In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. It is a memoir, but it's a bunch of essays that are all formatted around some kind of like horror aspect, I believe. Horror aspect or like narrative trope. I don't know if they're all specifically related to horror, but I think it is like related to like a haunted house. I think it's like at least partially fitting. It's at least partially psychological. It's like about how her last relationship fell apart, at least in part. So this one is definitely, I think, a bit more dense. Like it's one of the more dense of this stack. So I don't know if I'll be reaching for it, but I think it would be fun to at least start it and maybe read like 1 or 2 of the essays. So there's that. Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I don't know a ton about the content of this one. I think it's like a slight mystery situation. It has to do with like a realtor that's trying to sell a haunted house. She has to team up with a medium, and there's vampires and ghosts and other supernatural creatures, I think. And that's all I really know. I know there are mixed opinions on this, but I know the people that like it really like it, and the people that don't. So, but I mean, this sounds very October considering the characters. Then we have The Book of Night by Holly Black, which is about magicians. I know this is Holly Black's adult debut, so I know very little about this one, but it also seems very October. So like I said, this is stack number 1, definitely the primary stack that I'm being drawn towards, that I'll be pulling from. So there's that. This is my secondary stack. It's half smaller books that I'm interested in, and then 2 random books that I have recently been wanting to grab, and I just thought I'd mention. So I'm gonna rapid fire through these just so you know that these were on my radar. There's no guarantee that I'll be picking these up, but we'll just mention them. Create Dangerously by Albert Camus. This is like a speech that he gave. It's incredibly short and it's on my October TBR, so I might just knock this out at some point. We'll see. The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. I don't actually know if this is a short book or if it just feels short because this is a like tiny paperback. I know that this is probably a denser read, so I don't know that I'll actually be attempting this, but I might speed date it and read the beginning. We'll see. Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. If I want something like quick, contemporary, fiction-y, there's this. Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer is a memoir that reads like a thriller about a bunch of people that were caught in a storm on Mount Everest. And I started this on audiobook a couple months ago, and I got a little bit invested, and then I got distracted and I forgot about it. And I saw this sitting on my shelf yesterday, and I was like, wait, I could get back into that. So there's that. And then Tender is the Flesh is a horror novel that I bought at Barnes when I bought We Used to Live Here, because it was buy one, get one, 50% off. This one I don't necessarily want to pick up right now because I just bought it, and some of those I've had for a lot longer, but it's definitely October vibes because I'm pretty sure this is like a cannibalism horror. We could always do that, but I don't know that I'm 100% in the mood for that, so I don't know. And then, like I said, I downloaded a bunch of stuff on my Kindle, so super quick, let me just run you through everything that I have on here. The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, Vicious by V.E. Schwab, Indigo Ridge by Debney Perry, Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth, The Book of Doors by Garth Brown, Annibot by Sierra Greer, Wayward by Amelia Hart, Just Last Night by Vari McFarlane, Night Shift by Alex Finlay, Immortal Dark by Tiga Skirma, and The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. So there's a lot of stuff on my Kindle. If anything is not speaking to me immediately when I'm in between books, I might just be starting something on there. So we have a lot of options, clearly. Anyways, I've already been talking for too long. I'm burning daylight, I'm burning reading time. We need to get this show on the road. But really quickly, this morning, my roommate Matt and I also burned some daylight by doing a quick little shopping trip. We went to a little store called Things Between, and we got blind boxes and also some clothes. And so really quickly, we wanted to do a little haul and also open our blind boxes. So we're gonna do that really quickly. And then I think I'm gonna change into one of my new items, so I'm not wearing the same thing that I was wearing the last time you guys saw me. So let's do that, and then we're gonna get reading. Okay.
Well, we can just do it for yours. Oh, the blind. Well, you can still record the blind box, so.
We're doing a blind box unboxing of these cute little bunnies.
TB Cutie Friends.
Yeah, TB Cutie Friends. And Mick wants Cooper, this little guy, and I kind of want, I mean, I could go for Cooper also, or Coco. I like Coco. But I don't want Jenny, and I don't want, I don't mind Benny. I don't know, I'm scared.
I think I would be okay with any of them. Benny's just like, he's bottom of the list. I don't know, something about his choker just doesn't sit right with me 100%.
Maybe I could take the choker off. I don't like a pearl necklace either.
Okay.
Oh my god,
oh my god.
I'm scared.
I think I just saw something.
What do you think? Is it Jenny? I thought I saw blue in yours.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I know. He matches me right now. She matches.
What's her name?
Jenny.
I got Jenny.
I think without about the necklace maybe? She could be better.
I got Jenny. So. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, she's cute. It's like something about her aura is like.
I like her little bow.
No, yeah. She's sweet. She's sweet. Aw, like she's kind of sweet.
She is. And look.
Oh, they're friends.
Look.
Cooper's face is just really sweet. It's like something about his eyes.
Well, and his ears are like too big.
Yeah.
But like so are
Something
hers.
just like, there's something.
We love them.
She's also like rather large.
Happy blind boxing.
Wait, that's really unfortunate. It's fine. She was my second to last.
You didn't get Benny.
Jenny.
Benny girl.
It's fine. We went to things between.
My box is so big it doesn't fit in the frame.
We thought we could give you a little haul. Just
We
for,
did
for the fall vibes of it all because we got sweaters and cardigans and things. Also, new location unlocked. This is Mad's room.
Welcome to my room.
Never been in here before. This is my first time ever. So it's usually off limits, but it's not true. Do you want to go first? She got more things than me, so.
I'll show two of mine.
Okay.
So my first thing, which is what we went for, was a cardigan. And I got two cardigans. So I got this green one. I like the stripes. The fit is perfect. It's like kind of cropped a little. But not cropped. It's just like it hits at your waist.
Like right at the like
Because I feel like cardigans sometimes just get too long.
Yeah, it hits like right where your jeans hit. Like it hits at like the what is the word?
Waistline.
Yeah, your
The
waistband.
waist.
Your waistband.
And then I just got a classic little tan one. I really wanted brown, but they didn't have brown.
Yeah.
So just this.
Yeah. So then I also got a cardigan because like you said, that's why we went. And so got blue. They have like a cobalt blue and then a dusty blue, which kind of like match your
No, I know.
your bed.
We're matching my room. Look in the
Cute.
back of the...
We are. This is like a dusty. This is the dusty blue, I think, is what it's called. Got it in a medium because
I just didn't notice that much of a difference. Like when I tried on an extra small.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I got extra small.
Oh.
Like in this one. This one's extra small. This one's small.
They're not a huge difference.
She just said they might be like a little longer.
Okay.
But they're not like a lot more over. Like they're already like the perfect.
The fit is just
oversized.
really, really good.
Yeah.
And they're like, they don't cling. Like none of the sizes felt
Tight.
suffocating. Yeah. They're just really good. And they're
good.
not like I will say this cardigan is softer because if you were gonna look online, because you were feeling compelled to order
And
online.
they're not super warm either.
Yeah. This is like a light. This one specifically, like the one that has like the slight little collar
The
thing.
they have the thicker ones, and those
Yeah.
will be,
thicker,
for
warmer.
Yeah.
So anyways, we got cardigans.
Cardigans.
So that's the first thing. Okay, your next thing.
And then I got two shirts that are kind of the same vibe. I love a little fun collar.
Really
and then
cute.
the sleeves are all fun too, with little lace at the bottom. And then this one also has a collar. It's more just like a collared shirt. And then it has the fun detail. And then the sleeves are like cuffed a little bit, but they don't have the...
I like this is like a grid pattern.
I know.
It's cute.
It's cute, and I will wear them all fall and winter.
They had a lot more like clothing items than I was expecting.
And it was like the stuff that we like to wear.
Yeah, because like we had only seen a TikTok that was showing cardigans before we went. Like we went specifically for the cardigans, and then
we walked and we said, "Oh,
we got it."
There's some stuff we'd want.
Yeah.
And like the t-shirts were cute.
We'll be going back,
We'll be
unfortunately. So then I also did get something else, which I didn't
love
need,
this.
but-
Tomato.
A tomato sweater. So it's really cute. It's like an oversized, like loose fit. It has like a wide neck, like not super wide to where it's like off the shoulder, but it's definitely like a loose neck. Loose sleeve, almost like a bell sleeve, but not all the way because it kind of comes back at the bottom. And then I will say this is not super soft. It's not like not soft, but it's like, it borders on itchy. It's not itchy, but it borders on itchy, just so you know.
Yeah,
if you're sensitive to texture.
But this isn't like I am really sensitive, and it might bother me for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But like
I also think like maybe with a wash.
Yeah, I think it might get softer.
But it's not like a soft sweater.
It's so cute though.
But it's really cute. And I've been seeing like they also have like a fish one. I've been seeing people wear it, and I thought it was really cute. And so when I realized they had it, I was like,
you have to get
it. So anyways, sorry to interrupt the readathon of it all with a haul, but
Haul
I mean
time.
we had to, like,
We had to show.
We
'cause
had
were
to.
excited.
Yeah.
We were really excited.
Yeah. Anyways. And if I put one of these on.
Immediately, don't ask questions.
Yeah. Not Jenny.
I'm so...
When I opened it though, I thought I saw yellow.
Oh.
So like this is slightly better.
This is a little bit of an upgrade.
Yeah.
For you.
Like Jenny.
We're just matching though.
No, that's really cute.
I want to put him on my purse.
You should.
My red purse.
He's really cute.
He's really cute.
He has really good energy.
He does. I trust him.
Yeah.
I do. I love him.
Okay. Maybe time to start the timer. All right.
Someone see?
I'm gonna make myself a little lunch snack plate and then we can begin. Also, I'm wearing my sweater, so I love her. Okay. I went to Trader Joe's yesterday and obviously they have all of their fall stuff out, and I went a little crazy on like the actual food items, but I'm not crazy about like their snack stuff fall wise, so you know, whatever. But I did get, I've never tried this before, but I love goat cheese. So I got caramelized onion, goat cheese. I don't think this is a seasonal one, but we have raisin, rosemary crisps, crackers to go with it, some pretzel snaps, strawberries, and then I'm gonna have some yogurt. That's gonna be my snack plate, nothing crazy. But I honestly blacked out when I walked into Trader Joe's yesterday because the amount of like fall food sticker cards they have everywhere, because they have such an insane amount of fall food. Like the stack of fall like pasta variations I have in my fridge right now. And I'm leaving for a trip on Wednesday. So again, I blacked out. So story of my life when I go grocery shopping, but all of our tiny knives are dirty. Okay, this is my finished snack plate. I know, okay, it's not cute. The goat cheese specifically is hard to look at. And the fact that I have an unopened yogurt, I would put it in a cute bowl if I wanted to do an extra dish, but I don't, so I'm not going to. Anyways, I'm gonna go move into the living room and like actually start, but I have officially decided, like formally, officially, 100%, this is the book I'm gonna start with. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, a witchy, wholesome, cozy romance vibe. People are telling me that it's like The House in Cerulean Sea, which is one of my all-time favorite books. So why would I not? And I also feel like there's a chance I could finish it in one go. I could finish it in one day. That could be me being really ambitious. I don't know. We'll see. But my roommate has read it. She loves it. This is literally from the stack of books in her room. So I don't have my own copy. But I figured just to give you more details then, wholesome witchy romance. This says it's a warm and uplifting novel about an isolated witch whose opportunity to embrace a quirky new family and a new love changes the course of her life. As one of the few witches in Britain, Micah, I'm assuming it's Micah. Micah Moon knows she has to hide her magic, keep her head down, and stay away from other witches so their powers don't mingle and draw attention. As an orphan who lost her parents at a young age and was raised by strangers, she's used to being alone and she follows the rules. With one exception, an online account where she posts videos pretending to be a witch. She thinks no one will take it seriously, but someone does. An unexpected message arrives begging her to travel to the remote and mysterious Nowhere House to teach 3 young witches how to control their magic. Breaks all of the rules, but Micah goes anyway and is immediately tangled up in the lives and secrets of not only her 3 charges, but also an absent archaeologist, a retired actor, 2 long-suffering caretakers, and ... Jamie. The handsome and prickly librarian of Nowhere House would do anything to protect the children, and as far as he's concerned, a stranger like Micah is a threat. An irritatingly appealing threat. That part. As Micah begins to find her place at Nowhere House, the thought of belonging somewhere feels like a real possibility, but magic isn't the only danger in the world, and when peril comes knocking at their door, Micah will need to decide whether to risk everything to protect a found family she didn't know she was looking for. Yep, I'm sad. I'm gonna be eating this up, guys. Like, I'm gonna be eating this up, I already know. There's no way I'm not. Witty, witchy, and wonderfully romantic. Yeah, I'm getting the sense that Jamie, might be blonde? Question mark? Anyways, I'm gonna go eat my snack plate, open my Dr. Pepper Zero, and start my 12-hour timer, which I don't know if I was clear when I started explaining this, but I'm doing the timer method, which means anytime I'm reading, my timer is going. So the 12 hours are only consisting of reading time. I'm not including any other time like me making my snack plate or my clothing haul. So I'm realizing there's been very little reading in this readathon so far. So let's go get cracking on that. Okay, it's 3:01 p.m. I'm starting my 12-hour timer. She's begun. Okay. Hi, I just finished my first hour according to the timer. I'm reading really slow, I guess, because I'm only on page 51. Well, I guess not really slow, but slow for reading a romance book. It should be a really fast read. I think I maybe just wasn't fully locked in. So I was also eating. That's basically it. I think that's why. It's really cute. I'm not super far into it yet, but so far it's really cute. And I can tell once she's actually interacting with the kids, I think I'm really gonna like it. Interacting with the kids and interacting with Jamie, the guy. I'm probably really gonna like it. I will say, I don't think this counts as a spoiler. Feel free to skip forward a little bit if you want. It happens literally on page like 15. So like, and I mean, you know that she goes there. Like it's the premise of the book. She makes the decision to go, or she goes like to the place in the first place so fast and with like zero hesitation. So that was the only part where I was like, wait, okay, for sure. And again, like page 15, yeah. But other than that, it's really cute. I mean, I guess also like the entire premise of this book, you kind of have to suspend your disbelief in general. So it's just funny because I feel like there's been very little resistance on her end to like anything that's happened so far. So, but I mean, hey, like she doesn't seem to have a lot of ties to her current life. So who am I to say, you know? Anyways, also it's literally so beautiful in our living room at this time of day. The vibes are really good in here. So, hey.
Doing nothing the whole time.
Well, she was napping. Anyways, I'm gonna lock back in and get back to, because I feel like it's gonna get better and I'm gonna like it even more. I'm feeling optimistic so far. So, okay. Little update, the first inklings of the romance have begun, and don't worry, I'm eating it up. So yeah. Also, we are 8 minutes from hour 2 being over. We're at 10 hours and 7 minutes and I'm on page 103. So I'm like reading at about 50 pages per hour-ish. Kind of slow for me, for this kind of book. So I'm not super locked in, I feel like. Also, my head kind of hurts because I think I'm a little bit dehydrated. I need to be drinking water. I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper Zero. That's not water. So anyways, I'm having a really good time. Also, we did put I put the A&M game on. That's my college. That's where I went to college. My dad texted and asked if I was watching. So I put it on. I'm not actively watching, obviously. I'm reading the Very Secret Society The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, but it's on, which honestly is really increasing the fall vibes. For like the last however many weeks, 6 weeks since football season has been happening, this house has had football on the TV like all weekend long, and it's felt very fall. So that's what's happening back there. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Okay. I'm gonna get some water, but I know I'm gonna find a cat in here. Hi, Onion. You sleeping? Oh, goodness. Without fail. Anyways. Another one. Hi. What are you doing? The romance is steadily picking up in the Very Secret Society. It's giving MMC has feelings that are growing that he's really trying to fight and refusing to acknowledge first, which is my personal favorite kind of romance situation. So once again, my main thought is I'm having a really good time. I think I'm probably just under halfway. Let me go look at the page number I'm on. I just wanted to come get some water, so. It's the sudden caretaker in the wake of unexpected, you know, injury situation / found family in action, you know, in recovery from unexpected injury event situation. It's gonna do it for me every time. I'm reading it up. I did just have tears in my eyes, so. Also in the last hour, I have indeed, lost the sun. So we are down to 9 hours about, and I am on page 166. So clearly I got really invested there. There was a lot happening in the last 60 or so pages. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said earlier, I do have plans tonight. One of my friends is coming over to carve pumpkins and hang out with me, my roommates and stuff. So I'm gonna keep reading until she gets here and then I'll stop. I will most definitely be reading more of this before I go to bed tonight. So I'll check back in with you guys when I resume this before bed, and we'll share any updated thoughts at that time. So, but just know I'm loving it. And I think at this point I'm over halfway. So, I mean, good progress for being on hour 3 into hour 4, being halfway done with book 1. This means this is giving me hope for getting at least 2 books down in this 12-hour window. I'm feeling good. Okay. Good morning. So, last night, our friend came over, hung out at my house, and she ended up staying a lot later than I was expecting, which was a lot of fun. However, that meant by the time I got into my room and picked up my book to do a little bit more reading, I was in no headspace to pick the camera back up. There's a cat at my door. Okay, who's doing that? Can you hear that? Anyways, what was I saying? By the time I came in my room, it was like 1 a.m. I was like, okay, but I have like 8 hours left on the time. It was like, actually, I had like 8.5 hours left on the timer. And I was like, okay, but unfortunately, I don't think I can leave 8 hours on the timer for tomorrow. I could, but that's a lot of hours to have left for a full day. I thought I was gonna get through more yesterday. So that was poor planning on my part. So I was like, I need to do at least 1 hour tonight. Like I need to I'm just gonna try and knock out as much as I can before I need to go to sleep, which was crazy because while we were hanging out, at one point I was like feeling like I needed to go to sleep immediately. I was just feeling really exhausted at one point last night. So anyways, long story short, I accidentally stayed up until like 3 a.m. reading, and I was in no headspace to pick up the camera. So I'm almost done with this. I'm actually on page 310 out of 316, and I'm eating it up. I'm having such a good time. I was giggling, smiling, kicking my feet, tearing up, just really overall loving it. Like, is it House in the Cerulean Sea level? No. But is the romance in this so up my alley? Yes. Is the found family in this incredible? Yes. Was the plot twist that I just experienced at the end of this book exactly what I was expecting? Yes. Did I see it coming from the second they laid the first crumb? Yes. However, still having a really good time. So I want to unpack my thoughts. However, my microphone, little red light, need to put her on charge. Should have done that while I was sleeping. I was up till 3 a.m. and then I passed out. So I'm gonna charge my microphone while I finish the last like 20 pages of this. And then I do have plans this morning. So I'm gonna finish this, debrief you, and then we'll be done with book number 1. I'm gonna run out, take care of my plans, and then we'll come back and start book number 2. That's the plan. First things first, we need to charge her. So, okay. Okay, like I said, I literally have 8 pages left. This must be the last chapter, chapter 30. Realistically, I should have just finished this last night, but I was like, I can't finish this off camera. I have to finish this in the vlog. And it was 3 a.m. There was no way. So anyways, okay, before I finish, I love Micah, the main character, and I love the way that the author has developed her relationship with the individual character without it feeling like overdone. Like it feels like the found family is real in the sense that like I believe that she feels like she belongs at Nowhere House, which is the name of the house where the magical children live, and her going there to like take care of these kids and help tutor them with their magic. It's really, really sweet because there's a bunch of adults, which I read in the description of this book. There's Jamie, which is the love interest, and he's like the librarian that lives there, but he's also technically the guardian of the 3 kids. And then there's also 3 other adults. There's 2 older men that are actually a married couple. One is like the caretaker of the grounds. He's like the gardener, the groundskeeper, I guess. And his husband, who I think their backstory is like he just like moved with him, and they both tutor the girls in different subjects. And then the housekeeper, and she also tutors the girls. So like there's like an army of adults that are helping to take care of these children. And then Jamie is technically their primary guardian, but like all of these adults love and care for these children. So like Micah coming into this world and taking care of these kids, she's not the only one there, and she's coming into this world where there are other people, not necessarily her age obviously, because the other 3 are a lot older than her. Jamie is close to her age, but the other 3 are definitely her seniors. But there's definitely like a network for her to feel supported by, I guess you could say. Like she is stepping into a pre-existing family is the point. And it feels very cute, very sweet, very wholesome. Even though I will say, I feel like 2 of the characters are not seen as much. One in particular is like very underused. I still like that she's included because I think otherwise it would have felt like there were not enough characters in the house. So, but I do think there could have been maybe a little more done with that. The kids are really cute, really sweet, have distinct personalities. They're not as distinct, not to compare to the House in the Cerulean Sea. They're not as distinct as House in the Cerulean Sea, but like House in the Cerulean Sea, like those are like children with magical abilities. So like they're very distinguishable from one another. These are just girls that are witches. So they have the same abilities. So they're just girls with slightly different personality traits, and then they have the same abilities. So they're like slightly harder to distinguish. Anyways, I'm talking too much for not having a microphone, and there's like a lot going on behind you. So I'm gonna just read now. I'm gonna finish this book. Okay. Done at exactly 4 hours. 5 hours. I can't do math. 5 hours. 5 hours, which is that good or bad? Oh, that's like right on target. This is like 320 pages divided by 60 minutes. That's like 5.3. So we're right on target. Book number 1 is done. We're actually like a little ahead of schedule with that, so that's great. Okay, I'm pausing the timer at 7 hours and 1 minute. This is tentatively between 4 and 4.5 stars. Closer to 4.5. She's obviously adorable and really heartwarming and wholesome. If you like or love House in the Cerulean Sea, might I recommend. Maybe not super close to each other, but if you read one or the other and then you want something else in a similar vein, yeah. Okay, anyways, I have to run out. Hopefully I won't be gone too long, and then when I get back, I have 7 hours of reading left. So this readathon will probably end up ending around like 7 to 9 p.m., which is not what I intended or expected, but here we are. So, okay. As you can tell, I took myself to a park. I picked up breakfast burrito and a matcha on my way, and I'm gonna start my next book. I haven't read anything at all. Honestly, I dilly-dallied because I ended up not partaking in my plans that I had for this morning. I was supposed to go thrifting with my roommate and some other friends this morning. Did not happen. I didn't leave the house with them when I was supposed to, and then wasted too much time. It didn't make sense for me to. So anyways, here we are now. If I end up at a park again later today with my roommate, that's okay. But I walked outside this morning and there was a chill in the air, and I was like, okay, so I either need to go to a coffee shop and sit outside or go to a park and sit outside. So anyways, the timer is still at exactly 7 hours. But like I said, it's a beautiful day. There's a chill in the air. So I have my new cardigan on, obviously. And I brought potential options for my next book, and I also brought my Kindle just in case we need an alternate. But I think what I'm gonna do is read Create Dangerously, which I know was not on the priority fall TBR, like the priority fall book stack, but it is on my October media menu. Like, it's an appetizer from the media menu. So I feel like I should do it. And it's really short. So I brought a pen to annotate it. I feel like at the very least I could start it and see how I feel. See if I can get through at least a few pages of it and see if I'm vibing with it. And if I'm not, I don't have to finish it. At least today. I could also break it up over the course of this month, but I could at least start it today. So I think I'm gonna do that. But I also brought Used to Live Here, which is a horror book that's on my 25 and 2025. And if I got to this, I will have cranked out 2 books on my 25 and 2025 list, which will feel really good. But like I said, there's more books on my Kindle. So we're gonna start with her. I don't remember how much I said about this when I briefly talked about what it was in the intro piece, but it's my understanding that this is just a speech that he gave. Albert Camus, he's a philosopher. I personally don't know that much about him at all, other than he's a philosopher. But he gave a speech on the power and responsibility of the artist and the importance of making art as like a radical act, which I feel like is very important in times like these. I mean, it's always important, but you know, when perhaps freedoms are being threatened, I feel like it's important to consume advice from people that have experienced things like that before. So we're gonna read this. There's some weird music happening behind me, perhaps. I think there's maybe some kind of spiritual thing happening. There's also a lot of birthday parties happening at this park. There's a lot going on. So anyways, the quote at the top of the back of the book says, "To create today means to create dangerously. Every publication is a deliberate act, and that act makes us vulnerable to the passions of a century that forgives nothing." And it's from 1957. It's effectively a call to arms for writers and artists at work in a troubled age. I'm gonna see if it resonates with me. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna start it. Okay. This is my favorite breakfast burrito in the entire city of Los Angeles that I've tried so far. PSA. Okay, so clearly I'm home. I was gonna do a debrief in the car, but since it's Sunday, also a beautiful day, literally everyone is out walking in the neighborhood right now, and as they should, obviously. So that didn't happen. I finished this. Took me a little bit longer than I thought it would. Honestly, not even because it was hard to understand or like I needed to like really be thinking, but more so because, I mean, I was like pausing to underline and annotate, and also there was maybe so much going on at the park. Like I was facing some kind of meditation spiritual circle or something, and then at one point I watched a little dog meet and greet happen, and there was some kind of like intense political discussion happening behind me, which was really timely to do with actually the content of this. But and then when I finished it, I actually looked up the context of the time when he gave this speech, and you know, kind of, I mean, I didn't do extensive research because I'm on a timeline. As of right now, the timer is set to run out at 8 p.m. That's about as late as I want to push it, so I'm about to lock in when I finish debriefing this really quick. But so I didn't do extensive research about who he was and like the context of him as a historical figure, because I would want to dedicate extra time to that. So I do want to go back and take like notes on this, but I did write down 2 pages that I just wanted to really briefly discuss quotes from. And I also like looked up an article and then like pulled quotes from that article explaining the context of some things for like future me when I go back and take my notes. But I would say like the overall thesis / like point that he was making with this speech was basically that if you are calling yourself an artist in the midst of like a tumultuous time, then if you're creating art, then you should be saying something with it. Like if you're just making something to be frivolous and like having fun, then that's kind of a pointless endeavor and not really worthwhile, I think, was the central message. One of his quotes was basically, also he was saying that like freedom is inherent to being able to make art. And so if you're in a time when your like freedom is being challenged and you're at risk of like losing your freedom to make art, then it's even more important that you do so and that you are saying something when you're making that art, because art, because of the inherent freedom that is its very essence, as I have tried to explain, unites wherever tyranny divides. So how could it be surprising that art is the chosen enemy of every kind of oppression? How could it be surprising that artists and intellectuals are the primary victims of modern tyrannies, whether they are right-wing or left-wing? Tyrants know that great works embody a force for emancipation that is only mysterious to those who do not worship art. He says, the days of irresponsible artists are over. We will miss the brief moments of happiness they brought us, but at the same time, we will recognize that this ordeal has given us the possibility of being truthful, and we will accept that challenge. Freedom in art is worth very little when it has no meaning other than assuring that the artist has an easy life. I believe that hope is awakened, given life, sustained by the millions of individuals whose deeds and actions refute the worst moments in history, to allow the truth to shine brightly, even if created out of suffering and joy. So basically, he's just saying that you should create art to tell the truth, whether that's against something, in support of something. Artists don't necessarily have to suffer. They don't have to be persecuted in order to be declared an artist. They don't have to be going against tyranny, but he believes they need to be saying something, basically, is what I gathered. Obviously, it's dependent on the person that's claiming to be the artist and what their intention is, but in his opinion, true art seeks to like interpret and understand and then therefore connect with people. Anyways, it's philosophy. Like this man is a philosopher, so obviously a little bit of thinking was going on at the park, but I think it's very timely. I don't know that I would sit here and call myself an artist, capital A, because I don't spend all of my free time creating art, but I do write on occasion and I do work in the arts in some capacity. And so I think it's important for me to consider what I'm putting out into the world, the value of it, the impact of it, where I want to be putting my energy in terms of the impact I want to be making. So, especially in terms of the times in which we live, the creation of art and the expression of one's opinions and the ability to live one's life the way one wants to might be on the line in one way or another. I think it's important to really force yourself to sit down and reflect on things like this. I need to look more into his overall thoughts because I think that's important. But with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and start my next book because again, I'm already pushing it. Timer's ending past 8 p.m. at this point. So my next book, I'm going to start We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver, which if I'm being honest, I already did. I started the audiobook on my drive back from the park and so far actually really vibing with the audiobook. I read a lot slower when I listen on audio. Obviously, I can read a lot faster physically, but I would recommend the audiobook so far. It sounds like there's like documents and things. I haven't even looked to see what that looks like in here, but the narration of the documents is interspersed with like sound effects and stuff, which made it sound really interesting, and I'm already unsettled by the vibes. So this is a horror book, basically a queer couple that buys and flips houses, has bought a house in the middle of nowhere in the mountains, and then a family shows up on the doorstep of the women when only one of them is there. She's waiting for her partner to come home from work. And it's parents, a man and a woman, 3 children, 2 boys and a girl. And they show up and the dad's like, oh, I used to live here. Do you mind if we come in and take a look around? And she's kind of a pushover, so she caves and lets them in. And she's feeling uneasy about it. Super creepy vibes already. Just right off the bat, but she does let them in. And that's as far as I got. I'm like in chapter 2. And the first document is like the listing for the house, which they got from the bank from like foreclosure. So it was full of junk and kind of abandoned. Super creepy vibes. House in the middle of nowhere, all by herself, waiting for her partner to come home from work. Family there with her, home alone. I'm unsettled. I feel like I'm gonna blow through this. I'm gonna go cozy up in the living room. Football's on the TV. I'm monitoring my fantasy football team. Let's go amp up the fall vibes. Okay. Not the football playing outlet. I just realized I showed my pumpkins in that shot. When our friend Alyssa came over last night, we carved pumpkins. So now the festive element in the living room has gone up like tenfold. Mine is certainly the least impressive of the group. So basically, looking at it like this is a little bit humiliating. I guess you can't really 100% tell what's going on. Basically, long story short, that one's mine. You can't really tell, I guess, from this angle. It's a cat. I freehanded it and then I broke the tail off when I was popping out the pumpkin part at the center. This witch hat situation and the owl situation, my roommate Colin and my other roommate's boyfriend Ashton, they both used like those like tracer ones that you then puncture out, and then Mads, my roommate Maddie, she did a star and it turned out so good. So mine, you also can't really tell, I guess, on camera. The hole is low-key huge. I don't know how I managed to do that. Tried to reattach the tail with a toothpick. So It's cute. It's a cute activity. My execution poor. Anyways, like I said, football on the TV. I'm gonna light a candle. I was cleaning out an SD card, listening to the audiobook, got further, still really invested in the audiobook. I am really intrigued by the plot of this. I thought that I had an inkling where the plot was gonna go, just based on the setup alone of like the family showing up on the doorstep, and like one of the first lines being like our main character, Eve, she has like a voice in her head that has kept her company her whole life. And by the way, it takes the shape of a monkey stuffed animal that has symbols in its hand, wears overalls, straw hat, creepy smile. His name is Mo. Hey, what? That's insane. But this monkey thing told her in the first chapter, if they come in, they'll never leave. So I thought I understood where the plot was gonna go. I'm already getting confused and I'm thoroughly unsettled. I'm only on chapter 3. So I'm done cleaning out the SD cards and stuff now. So I'm gonna sit down, turn the football audio on like 2 and hunker down. I'm excited. This is like the perfect Sunday to me. So I'll probably be making like a fall dinner. Might walk to the grocery store in a little bit and get brownie mix or something. Who knows? It's feeling very fall readathon in here. Anyways. Okay, exciting update. I have a companion joining me now.
I'm eating snacks, but I'm about to start reading.
And she is going to potentially like shop my shelves. She has some one option and then maybe one thing that she might buy, but she wants to look at what I have. So when she's done with her snacks, we're gonna go look at my shelves. Also, I paused the timer and haven't been reading, so I'm gonna resume now. Okay. We're gonna lock in. The time that I'm finishing just keeps getting later and later, so I have to lock in. Also, how I close out of my timer. So I was somewhere around, I think I was at like 5 hours and 5 minutes or something like that. It was ending somewhere between 8:45 and 9 p.m. So I just put 5 hours back on there. We might have lost 15 minutes in there somewhere. Just being honest. Horror book and I really can't tell. I thought like at the beginning I thought I knew like the direction it was going, but I really can't tell like what the horror element is gonna be yet. Like I'm already like kind of creeped out, but like I don't know
Like what's about to happen.
Yeah.
That makes it even scary.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's supernatural. I don't know if it's like scary murderer people. You know what I mean? Like there's just like an underlying like something's not right, but I don't know like what direction it's gonna go, and I can't tell. So I'm just like, okay.
Okay, waiting for that to drop.
Atmosphere. That one was really good. I really liked the first one. This is fall. Did you try reading this?
I think it might have been in my stack last year, but I don't think I started.
I really liked it, but a lot of people don't. Like, it has like 2 characters that are like
Not necessarily likable.
Yeah. Are you in the mood for a romance? Like, what are you in the mood for?
I want something. I just want something that I'm really gonna like, or it's a romance that's like quick and easy.
I liked happy medium, but I think that's maybe on the cheesier side, and I know that's not like your favorite thing. Did you read Dead Romantic? Have you read any of these?
I've read The 7 Years Slave.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
This is by the same girl. There's like a ghost element, so it's like bullish.
Spooky.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I think you'd really like.
See, I'm like, no, I'm probably gonna like that one.
It's astronauts and romance. Sure.
I'm gonna do this one. I've decided we love Taylor.
And it's in Houston.
And it's in Houston. H-Town, hold it down.
NASA, you know.
NASA,
So, yeah. She'll be doing Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins.
I'll be doing Atmosphere.
Yeah. Which I guess I haven't even talked about Atmosphere. I read it and I loved it, so.
I have a good feeling about this.
On page 134, which is like a little under halfway, I think. And 3.5 hours left, so. Okay. Have things escalated already?
I'm in a flashback right now.
But like the first like, oh no,
Yeah.
thing happened.
I read that, got there really quick.
Okay.
And then since then I have been in and out of sleep.
For sure.
So it's just too cozy in here
No,
right now.
yeah.
But I know I'm gonna like it.
Okay. Which Atmosphere, if you're unfamiliar, it's set in the 1980s and it's about a woman that goes to train to be an astronaut. It's half when she's first arriving and starting her training and half when she is an astronaut. And something really crazy and intense is happening and she's like navigating that. And it's really good. So I think I'll read until the 3-hour mark and then I'm gonna go cook and I'll switch to the audiobook because I was really liking the audiobook. We've had some new characters, well, one new character introduced. The overall vibe is giving unsettling. It's giving unsettling, it's giving main character is potentially an unreliable narrator vibes, which is like not my favorite thing in a thriller/horror novel. So up to this point I'm still enjoying it because nothing has like really escalated, but once like the main plot device becomes everyone like just being like you're going crazy, oh, then I usually stop enjoying myself so much. So we'll see if that is actually what ends up happening, but I'm fearing we'll see. I do think I'm gonna be able to finish this though, considering I'm almost halfway. Okay, I'm locking back in. I'm on page 155, chapter title Relic, and I think I mentioned super briefly that in the audiobook there's like documents, and obviously that means in the physical book there's documents. They're not like document, like they don't look like documents, but there's like the insertion of documents in between chapters. So far, they haven't had any direct connection to the story yet. They've just kind of been clearly like crumbs that will make sense eventually. The one that I just read made no sense and it was giving House of Leaves. Like suddenly we've taken a turn and the story has become House of Leaves. If you've read House of Leaves, it's another horror book. I had to read it in college for an English class that was like postmodern literature, which was like such a weird and random class that I had to take. One of the most bizarre books I've ever read, and I don't even know how to begin to explain it, but I guess this is one of those like if you know, you know. So anyways, just know it's incredibly confusing and I don't understand what just happened because this document is so random. I don't even understand the context, obviously, because none of the documents have had context so far. Like this is just like an insert in this document. It's an excerpt from a compilation of rare and unexplained documents written by various authors. It's also one of those things where it's like typos have not been corrected, so throughout there's like random capitalized letters, and I kind of want to go through and like write down all the capitalized letters and see if there's like a hidden message. Like that's the level of confusing that document just was. Anyways, now I'm really confused. Like I don't understand. I don't understand where we're going with this. Like I have a feeling we're about to watch our main character descend into what everyone else perceives as madness, but it's actually like truly insane things are happening and she's the only one that is able to perceive them, I think is what is about to start happening. So that's the nature of the horror in this book, I guess. So does that count as a spoiler? Would you count that as a spoiler? Were you listening to me talk?
No, I was reading, sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. On the back, it says she slowly loses her grip on reality, which is basically what I just said.
Oh.
So I guess it's fine. But anyways, okay, we are at just under 3 hours. I'm gonna go make some dinner and I'm gonna switch to the audiobook for a little bit while I cook. And then I think we're either gonna order frozen yogurt or I'm gonna walk to the store and buy brownie mix. One of those two things is gonna happen because we need a treat. That's the vibe we're on.
That's what's most important right now.
Yeah, I have to eat something real though first. So I'm gonna go do that right now. Okay. When I say I blacked out in Trader Joe's and bought too many of their pumpkin related dinner items, this is what I mean by that. I guess to be more specific, fall. I have pumpkin gnocchi, butternut squash ravioli, pumpkin ravioli, and then tomato and burrata ravioli, which might be an all year round thing, but I've never had it before. And it was in the same section, so. Hey, why did I need 4 of these? I don't even usually eat pasta that often during the week, so. Yeah, I don't know. I also got the autumnal harvest pasta sauce to put with it, so. Anyways, I think this is the only one of these I've had before and it's so good, so I kind of think I have to bring her back. And then have a little broccoli salad that I'll probably make with it and some strawberries, and that will be dinner. Okay. Broccoli, kale slaw, strawberries. is the main couch kitty. There's 3 cats in this household. I think I showed all 3 in this vlog.
3 is the perfect number. All boys.
All boys. We're outnumbered. Oh my goodness. Things are happening and I'm about to find out, like a big reveal, and I was trying to put the pieces together before I'm told, but I can't, so I know it's coming. But I don't understand. I hope I will, but I don't know if I will. 100%. I'm having a great time though. Okay, hey, we used to live here. I feel like I said a lot of stuff and also basically nothing about this the entire time I was reading it, but my overall thoughts basically boil down to this is like House of Leaves, which I said meets Barbarian. I really enjoyed it. So much more than I thought I was going to. I think I've said this probably every year that I've been making book content, but I overwhelmingly have realized that you can't rely on reviews necessarily. Like you can't just take that as fact with a capital F, because this has a 3.5 or 3.6 on Goodreads, and I really enjoyed it, which I will say, especially for horror as a genre, I feel like horror books tend to be overall rated lower. I don't know if that's just because people pick up horror novels and then they aren't what they expect them to be. All that to say, I think just counting something out because it has a bad review is not good practice, because this is poorly rated and I had a great time. Do I feel like we have to take into account the fact that I did read this in basically one sitting? Yes. Because again, I've said this many a time on my channel, sometimes we can't trust the me that I am when I have binged something. So even though this feels like a 4.25, maybe 4.5 star right now, I do fear maybe I should let it ruminate before I make that like the official rating. But that's what I'm gonna go with for now, because again, I had a really good time. I was riveted. I binged it so fast. I wanted to know what the answers were. I was so confused. Like not once did I think I was gonna be able to put the puzzle pieces together, but I wanted to so bad. Like they had me. They really had me. The second it started feeling like House of Leaves, I was like, oh, this is gonna be something that I'm not gonna be able to put together on my own, but I'm gonna have to be locked in to like be picking up on potential clues and crumbs that they're leaving for me if I want to even like attempt to do so. By the way, I grabbed House of Leaves so I could physically show you what they have in common. So like I said earlier, there's like documents that they show in between chapters at certain points. And the second that there was a footnote in one of these documents, that's when I was like, oh, we're going House of Leaves here. House of Leaves, again, I realize I haven't given you any context, is a horror novel, obviously. I know you've gathered that much. That is in and of itself also a house, which I don't know if it was made clear. The house has a lot to do with like the plot and the mystery and the horror elements itself, which I'm sure, given that the house is on the cover and we used to live here, the family showing up, you know, the house has a lot to do with the plot and the mystery in this as well. This, I want to reread at some point. It's a tome, okay? This is a textbook, basically. It's like the narrative is about like this book, like it says like this physical book is a story about the house that lives inside. I don't know. It's like layers upon layers, and like there's a house inside a house. There's a lot going on in here, and it's all intertextual and postmodern, and the like plot is also the structure of the book itself. Like, I could just show you any page in here and you would be like, what's going on? Like, hey, what are you looking at? I don't know. Every page has random chunks of text and then random footnotes that have extra information that is either frivolous or super important. It's one of the most interesting books I have ever read, and I really enjoyed the experience just purely from a storytelling standpoint, but I know a lot of people didn't/don't. I really found it super interesting. More so from like an English postmodern perspective at the time than horror, because I honestly forgot it was a horror book until like now when I'm reading horror and I retrospectively was like, oh wait, I have read a horror book before. So anyways, once one of these documents had a little footnote that was like contextualizing something, I was like, oh. So I will say, if you've ever wanted to try House of Leaves, definitely a lot more palatable and a lot more digestible, because even though the documents do contribute to like the overall narrative, it's not to the point where if you don't grasp what's going on, like if you never grasp what's going on in the documents, you're not gonna like not understand the book as a whole, because obviously this is a lot more of like a commercial book, contemporary, digestible book in general. I would say if you've been intimidated by House of Leaves, you can do this one first or instead. Who's to say? So anyways, unexpectedly really enjoyed this because I've been thinking about rereading House of Leaves, and this kind of like scratched that itch for the time being, because that would be an undertaking. Also just because at this point in my life, I'm not a huge rereader or reconsumer anymore, because I get overwhelmed by how many things I have never read or watched before. And I'm like, no, I need to be watching and reading the new things. So just in terms of why it's not higher rated, I do just feel like I wanted a little bit more character-wise, which I feel like is an annoying refrain to hear from me when it comes to thrillers and horrors. But I don't know, like our main character, Eve, and her partner, Charlie, like Charlie was a very important piece of the narrative. I just feel like she was not super fleshed out at all. Like she was not a three-dimensional character. Like I was not really attached or emotionally invested in her in any capacity, really. And I wanted to be, because she was used a lot in the narrative. So I wish I just knew her a little bit better. And I also just wish I knew Eve a little bit better, because I definitely feel like there were some opportunities for that weren't taken advantage of. So I feel like character development, character strength was missing a little bit. But I mean, other than that, like I was sad. I had a great time. For right now, we're gonna go 4.25, I think, is where I'm landing. But that's as of right now. And if it's different, my wrap up, oh wow. Anyways, so that brings us to the end of our readathon. I really thought I was gonna be able to do more than 12 hours. I did not. However, 2 books and 1 tiny little speech is not bad for 12 hours. I feel really accomplished. I really thought there was a chance it was going to go a lot worse than that. So, you know, you gotta take your wins where you can get them. In terms of The Very Secret Society of Regular Witches, very cute, very sweet, very wholesome. I feel like I did a really quick debrief this morning. It's a very sweet, warm, witchy book. Like perfect October read if you want something cute and sweet. In my head, I was kind of comparing it like simultaneously to House in the Cerulean Sea and it's not the Kiss Curse, but the XX, which is like one of the only other truly witchy books I feel like I've read. This one is so much more up my alley taste-wise. The XX was cute, but it was a lot more, I don't know, maybe raunchy is the right word, but maybe just, or maybe surface level. Like this romance was very endearing, very just what I look for in a romance. Like this ticked a lot of boxes for me. Slow burn, very believable. The chemistry was really there. It was really working for me. And again, the found family was really, really sweet. It was really sweet. It did fall victim to me comparing it to House in the Cerulean Sea again, which is, you know, one of my all-time favorite books, but I really, really did enjoy like the cozy, witchy, wholesome vibes of it. And I would highly recommend for this time of year if you have not read it yet. So, and then obviously Create Dangerously, Albert Camus. I am really glad that I tackled this, that I checked it off my media menu for the month. You know, we're trying to broaden our horizons. We're trying to tackle things that make us think, that make us evaluate where we stand, how we feel about the current state of the world and our place in it. You know, that is my current prerogative at the moment. So I'm glad that I got to this, and I'm also feeling very motivated to go back and take further notes and do more research on it and him, because like I said, went into this rather blind and I took what I could without context, but I think it would be helpful to have context. So yeah, that's that. This feels weird to rate, so no rating on this. And then I think I would go 4 on this. This feels like a solid 4-star to me. I was leaning maybe like 4.5, but upon further reflection, I think 4 feels more accurate. Maybe I'll bump it up the more I think about it, but I think 4 is correct. So anyways, this is the product of our readathon. I'm feeling good. This was very fall. It was very needed. I have been reading at a very, very slow pace this year, and these were the first books that I've completed in the month of October. I soft DNF'd Lovely War, which is another book on my 25 and 2025, so really falling behind on that. It's a soft DNF with a tentative return to a full DNF on that one, so literally not that. And I'm reading Station 11, which I'm shocked I actually didn't say this at the beginning of the video, but I am reading Station 11, which I think is also on my 25 and 2025. So really trying to like, you know, work my way through those at the moment. It just didn't feel like a fall read, and not to like jinx it or anything, it's kind of feeling like it could be a 5-star. I didn't want to rush it. I didn't want that to work against it. So I wanted to do true, just like pure fall vibes with a little media menu appetizer insert in there, I guess. But I'm feeling good about what we got to, and I had a great time. I felt very fall, very locked in, very cozy, and I hope you enjoyed the vibes, whatever they happen to be. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, please comment a pumpkin emoji, and also if you liked my pumpkin the best, a cat with it as well. Any of the cats at all. Okay. That is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. I hope I'll see you in the next one.